Has it ever lingered in your head and you ask yourself, okay, fine, is there a secret about success? I mean, is there a specific thing that I ought to do so that at least I can be a successful person? And by the way, what is success? Let's just define success to you, because success differs from one individual to the other. Because, hey, guess what? Success, just like I said, is quite of a different thing. Now, the question is, what is it? First of all, it depends on who you ask. Your success is not my success, neither is it any other person's success. Now, success is, in the simplest language, I would say it's you having plenty. It's you having like the luxury of having what you want and also having an excess that you can as well help other people in them achieving the same thing. That's what I would find success that is. I don't want to use a lot of English here. Now, the point is this. Now, is there a specific secret towards this thing? That's a question that a lot of people tend to ask. And on this video, dare what I'm gonna promise you. At the end of this video, if you dare watch it up to the end, you're gonna get out of this video with all the information of what you're supposed to do for you to be successful. If it's your first time watching me, my name is Joseph. I'm just a guy with a camera and a good fair share of money knowledge, and that is exactly what I do. If that's a cup of your coffee, and I bet it should be. I mean, seriously, who hates money? So take this second, doesn't cost you anything, just free. Down below there is a small button written subscribe. Hit that button and also like the video. Let's get to the business. Now, point is this. Whenever it comes to success, what is it? Achieving that what you want to achieve in life, okay? It always has two things. There is two phases of the success, or there is two phases of our lives, okay? Because number one, first of all, you have to understand like, hey, there's things that we call them the controllables, okay? They are controllables. And B, there's things that we call them uncontrollables, okay? Now, by the way, guess what? Both of them actually defines or determines you achieving your success. And this is it, all right? Because we want to grow up as responsible people who are accountable to our own sort of our doings and deeds and such kind of things. Now, here are the controllables and uncontrollables. Obviously, you know what I'm about to go to. I'm going to talk about the controllables as well as the uncontrollables, and I tell you what are they. For example, this is you, okay? Let's take a very simple example here. This is you, and this is your life, okay? Now, this is you, and this is your life. You're looking forward into achieving the goal of life and being successful. Now, you ask yourself, in my life, there are things that I can be able to control and there are things that I cannot be able to control. For example, hey, number one, I can be able to control hard work. You see, I can control how hard I can work, all right? But I cannot control how lucky I can be. And this is where people get it wrong. So when I say you can be able to control how hard you work, because let me tell you one secret. Whenever it comes to you achieving this success, I've ever shared this with you before. It's all a combination of two things. Number one, it's a combination, or it's actually an intersection between two things. Let's say this is hard work and this is luck. Where the two meet, the intersection between the two, I bet you've ever heard of me talking about this. The intersection between the two, this is where we call it success, okay? Now, success at this particular point, you find this is the intersection of the two, that this is the success. Now, this one is the hard work, and this one is what? This one is luck. See, you cannot control luck, but you can control what? Hard work. And this is what people do. For example, if you are, hey, we said I'm going to be using teachers as examples. Okay, thank you. So if you are a teacher, you get your monthly salary, or maybe you get your weekly salary, whatever the time you get paid. Or let's say you are a business person, all right? Now, this is what happens. You can control you waking up early in the morning, go getting your goods and go selling out there. You making up early in the morning, like me, making sure that I record these videos, making sure that I edit them, I make sure that all the videos are available to you each and every time. That is pure hard work. It is pure hard work. The hard work and the consistency, that work actually is actually combined as what you can actually control under your end. The other end, you find that people tend to substitute the hard work with purely uncontrollable things, with purely things to do with lucky. And what happens here, when you actually try to ignore the hard work aspect and control that, guess what happens? You tend to do what we call the gambling. You tend to gamble. Hey, you know what you're doing when you're gambling? You're trying to assume that you are lucky enough to actually go ahead and win that specific thing. Why? Because you are using a pre-existing knowledge or pre-existing understanding. There was an individual who did exactly that and they become successful. So because we always have this character and this understanding that, hey, that can actually be always translated to our lives, then you tend to think and believe that you can as well be lucky. So you tend to gamble. But when you're gambling, guess what you're doing? You're actually substituting the hard work aspect of your life with gambling or actually achieving that luck. Right. Now, the other thing is that what you're supposed to understand whenever it comes to success, there is this aspect of a human being that you're supposed. For example, let's take a very simple case scenario of a farmer. For example, let's take here is a farmer. Now, you being a farmer here, all right, here there is a land. You need to plow the land. All right, you need to plow the land, you need to make the furrows or the holes or whatever the place that you have to place your seeds. And once you do exactly that, you go back home. How it rains, you know nothing. All right, how the plants germinate, you know nothing. You can't control about that, but there is something that you can control. If you did go to the land, you plow the land and actually did the furrowing and burying those seeds in the soil and applying those fertilizers and whatever things that you call, ain't gonna grow nothing. Don't be surprised if nothing grows. See, if you sow corn, you shall, the Bible says that you shall reap what you sow. It's as simple as that. All right. So you went to the garden, you did something, and you plant your garden vegetables and what have you. Then you don't act surprisingly. Now the other thing that I'm supposed to let you know is that you being a farmer, in this case in regard, then you have to do that what you're supposed to do as a human being. Then there is that part that you do not have a control of. Okay, I know you may argue from the point of, hey, what about I do irrigation and all those kind of things? Fine, you may be able to do so, but the fact remains how it germinates. I know you might borrow this from the science, the primule goes up, I don't know, the radical goes down and whatever, all those kind of things, but you do not have a control. That's the point. All right, you do not have a control of it, but there is that what you have a control of it. Number two, that's what I'm going to let you know about wealth and creating success and all those kind of things. It is because it is intentional. It is intentional. It is intentional. Success is actually intentional. What do I mean? For example, right now as we speak, we're going to have Olympics in France, in this 2024, and I stand corrected, but I'm pretty sure we're going to have the Olympics in 2024, International Olympics or whatever. The whole world will converge in France, in Paris, in France for the Olympics. Now, right now, as you're watching this video, as I'm making this video, and as you're watching this video, have you ever heard of somebody by the name Eliud Kipchoge, one of the greatest marathon runner, on earth, marathoner on earth? He's actually a Kenyan, or maybe you can just say like, there's somebody somewhere, practicing gymnastics and all those kind of things, the canoeing, all those games that will be played in that specific place, okay? Now, the question is this. Right now, what they're doing, they're practicing for that specific day. And when they win, they really don't act surprisingly, because they did that intentional. It's like seeing somebody with muscles and, he has a very good flex body and all kind of things. And then you ask them, what happened? They say, I don't know, it just happened. I don't know, it just happened. It cannot work that way. They tell you, hey, I've been in this industry for the last 10 years, 15 years. I've been doing this all the time. You do this thing intentionally. And this is exactly what happens to success. You have to do it intentionally. That's why I say wealth is actually intentional. When you see somebody waking up early in the morning, having this is what you call the late night sleeps, and this guy is actually sometimes even skip lunch, he or she is actually creating something. It is very intentional. And those are the combinations of the secret that you need to have for you to actually achieve success in your life. So it is intentional in the sense that, for example, hey, you do not only watch my videos and comment and say, hey, Joseph, I love your videos and you're great, you've changed my life. See, if you keep on just watching, doing nothing, I only give you like 2%. That's why they always say, hey, success is only 2%, and the other one is 98% perspiration. It's 2% motivation, 98% perspiration. So that is it. All right. So whatever I'm giving you right now, it is actually 2% of it. So you have to take an action. For example, if I show you how to invest on stocks, for example, if I show you how to start a business, the factors to consider when you want to start a business, the characters that you ought to have for you to start an investment, a business, and I tell you don't really require like a humongous amount of money. When I tell you have to change your mindset and how you perceive your life, you don't stop blaming everyone and anyone there. If you feel motivated, if you feel elevated, if you feel like you have to do something, and at the end of the day you end up doing nothing, then you wait for the tomorrow's video, you feel the same. It's like I'm serving you with the drug that at the end of the day it does not solve you any problem. It's just like a painkiller drug. It does not solve you any problem. It does not cure you in one way or the other. The pain keeps on coming back. The pain keeps on coming back. The fact remains, hey, once you get elevated, you take action. Joseph said we can actually buy shares worth 3,000. Just go there. Dare do the thing. Just go there. Do the thing. Try as much as you can. Be intentional when it comes to wealth creation. So when you become intentional when it comes to wealth creation, that's when the time now things starts to come. I know things now start unfolding and you actually encounter different challenges. For example, this is not how I started making these videos. I started all the way down below there, all right? And I always love to give myself examples. Because in an example that you can relate, I always tell people, dare go to the older videos of mine. There is a way I used to record videos. Right now, I cannot even say that I'm the best. Maybe 2 years time from today, I'll be looking the way I was doing my videos today. And I'll be like, oh my goodness, that's what I was doing. That's what we do. So you keep on doing the same thing. We keep on doing, for example, say, by God's grace, one day, maybe in 5 years time, someone asked me somewhere in a seminar, hey, guess what, Joseph, you have like 2 million or 3 million followers or 10 million followers. Tell us, what's the secret? How do you do it? I cannot act surprisingly and be like, oh, I don't know, it just happened. Yeah, it must have happened, but the fact remains that I was doing something each and every day. Sometimes, if for example, even right now, I was feeling like just want to sleep, take time, and relax, it being a weekend. But I know I have to do something about it. So it is very much intentional. And most of the people tend to assume it is intentional, and they just want to sort of blame everybody. Hey, I am poor because of, hey, guess what? The factors does not favor me. So sometimes back then I used to think the same until I went to, I wasn't brought up in big cities, by the way. I was brought up in an up country. And then I used to think like a lot of people do not have money. Actually, not even a lot of, like everyone do not have money, because I used to hear, parents, the neighbors and what have you complaining about the, unavailability of the money and what have you. And then when I went to the cities, I found that guys are actually eating lunch worth like a couple of thousands. And I was like, oh, damn it. You mean there is money? I mean, I saw some guys buying cars and all those kind of things. And I was like, wow, wow, wow. I think there is money. I think there is money. It's all about the mental change and all those kind of things. Now, the point is this is what I'm going to leave you with. Now, first of all, understand number one, there are things that we call the controllables. Control the controllables. Those things that you can be able to control them. Those that you cannot be able to control, just forget about them. And the things that you can actually be able to control comes all the way from your subconscious, come all the way from your brain, your mind. If you cannot be able to control your mind, you'll be controlled by anything that is out there. If you take care of what actually get, or we have the external factors. So if you can be able to actually control the internal factor deep inside of you, you can actually be able not to be influenced by the external things. Ain't gonna care even about those things, okay? So number one, I've said control the controllables, forget about the uncontrollables, okay? Number two, be intentional when it comes to wealth creation. I'm gonna leave you with this example. Take two people here, walking, number one and two, give them equal 100K, 100K. I love this, giving this example, okay? Tell them each and every one should set up a baby shop, okay? Tell them to set up a baby shop, okay? Now the point is this, and tell them to actually open this business into at a specific location, both of them at the roadside, okay? The one sets a shop at this roadside and the other one sets directly opposite at the other roadside with the same amount of money. They do the same coloring, the painting and everything. All right. So once they do exactly that, that's what I'm trying to show you. People can people can access success differently using the different route. I remember there was a certain equation back in chemistry when I was in high school, used to be called the Hess law. I don't know that no matter the route of the reaction, the end result is the same. You can check it out, something like that. Okay. That's why I'm saying there is no a specific formula that you can apply as an individual and say, hey, guess what? Joseph gave me this formula and it's the ultimate formula to becoming successful. That's a lie. There's nothing like that. What we do is that we gather different information from different people. We actually go ahead and sort of create that thing that works for us. For example, say maybe I become wealthy by virtue of selling a book, all right? And I usually see some people who are pressing others. Hey, guess what? Sell a book, write a book, sell a book. It cannot really work that way. You may find somebody else who was selling some chickens at the roadside. He becomes the president. For example, that's a case of our president. So you cannot say like, hey, by virtue of you going with chicken at the roadside and sell, you become a president. It does not really translate to that. For example, hey, guess what? There's somebody whom I was having a conversation with. He told me he became wealthy by virtue of selling charcoal. If you know charcoal, and the dude is wealthy. Does not mean that if you get into the charcoal business, this problem of actually taking what we call the Me Too thing and truncating it to your life then become successful, that's wrong. What you're supposed to understand is that different things, you can actually borrow some different. For example, those who are selling some chicken, they had some character. Not only selling chicken, they had some character that you can actually borrow, incorporate on what you're doing, and then actually come up with a thing that works for you. Maybe you have to be, or maybe you'll be wealthy through you being a teacher. Maybe you'll be wealthy through you being a mechanic, being whatever you are out there. You really don't have to do exactly that I'm doing because you're talented differently. That's what you're supposed to understand. Okay, so now I was giving two examples of guys to here. Okay, now the guy one is the guy one, that this is the guy two. They set up a baby shop, the same coloring, the same stocking, like identical twin businesses. One thing that you understand, come each and every morning and get their sales. You'll find obviously there is one who will sell more than the other. Now tell me, where is the hard work? There's no hard work there. No hard work. Nothing. All right, so what does it tell you? It tells you like, hey, as much as we talk about hard work is the ultimate thing that makes success, it is not. What we do is that when we're working hard, we actually place ourselves in a situation whereby we become more likely to be lucky. For example, if I work as hard as I can, interact with people, try to create a network of people, I'm actually placing myself at a lucky situation. Why? For example, in my group, I might hear somebody who's saying, hey, if I can get somebody who can supply me this, and then you're like, wow, I can access that one. And then you supply to them, then you make money. People will say you are lucky. But you are lucky because you actually did the much as you can to place yourself or to be, I don't know you guys, you can understand this. It's like, this is a highway and there's a bus that is picking people to their destination. And then you're just at home. If you're just at home doing nothing, don't want to go to the highway, and there's a rule: this bus only passes by the highway. It does not come to pick you from your home. So you have to actually get out of your home, come at the roadside so that the bus can pick you to your destination. The same case happened to the hard work and lucky. So luck, you cannot be able to attract it. You cannot be able to pull the bus to come to your home to pick you to your destination. So what you do is you actually get out of your house, go to the roadside and stand there, and place yourself in a situation whereby the luck, it's like you are easily accessible by the luck for you to actually achieve that success. Now, that's the golden information that I wanted to share with you, because I know you've been asking yourself, what exactly can I be able to do so that I achieve that success? Now, that is it. That is for you. Be able to do something. Stick to this channel. Make sure that you subscribe. Comment down below. How about to make this a home whereby, hey, each and every one will be saying, hey, guess what? We started with Good Joseph. Now here we are. By the grace of God, we've achieved a lot of things, and we are here. That's it. Anyway, guess what? You can always pick my number from the description of this specific video. Shoot me a call or text. We talk about business. For now, it's a goodbye and see you in the next one.